Hello, what's going on everybody? This is Jay from ModGNJ, and today we got here the unboxing video of the Flying 3D X8, which I got from the website banggood.com. Now this particular model is $289, so it's going to be a little bit more affordable than the Cheerson CX20. And as you guys can notice, I took it out of the wrapping that came from the shipping company, and that's because at the beginning I thought this was the X6 for some reason, but it is not. On the front here, we're going to see the X8 logo. It says here, a drone everyone can control, realize your dream of fly. On the bottom, it is stipulating to be for ages 18 plus. On the right side, we have the Flying 3D logo. And then on the right side of the box, we're going to have here some of the features supported for this quadcopter. It's going to have GPS, fail-safe mode, one key to return home, and of course the stabilization mode. And then on the left side, we're going to see here some other features. It does support a gimbal. It has altitude sensor, intelligent flight mode, and finally low voltage protection. And on the back, we're going to see the picture of the actual quadcopter. We can see here, it is a very nice quadcopter. It's very tall as well, so it is going to support the gimbal. As a matter of fact, I have purchased the gimbal, and here I have the actual package itself, in which we're going to unbox on a separate video. So for now, this is going to be only for the X8, and we can even see here we have the picture for the remote control. On the right side, we have the logo Flying 3D. And with that being said, let's go ahead and open the box here and see what we got inside. And here is coming. Wow. All right, and here we have the container in which this quadcopter comes from. We can already see the quadcopter itself. It doesn't look like a grasshopper to me. You have the remote control and finally the wall charger. So let's go ahead and remove this protector. And here we have the quadcopter itself. I can say, guys, that it does look very nice and it feels very heavy. Here from the bottom, we have some connectors already for the gimbal itself. And we can see that all the way around this quadcopter looks very nice. We have the 4 brushless motors. On the top here, it says GPS. And here we have the front of the quadcopter, the right side of it, the back side, and the left side. So let's go ahead and put this aside for now. The next thing we're going to see here is the remote controller. And according to the website, this is going to be an 8-channel remote controller. We can see how nice it looks. We got here some flickers. This is going to be for the position hold, the GPS returning position mode. And we also got here some throttles. We can see that this one is to take off and this one is to hover around to go forward, backwards, and from left to right. It does look very nice. We also got the LCD screen here. Now we have to read the manuals and see how they work. And I think it does require 4 AA batteries, just like any other remote control out there. And we do have here a connector of some kind. I think this is going to be so that you can train on your computer and whatnot. So that's great. We also got here 2 humongous landing gears for the quadcopter. They look a little bit flexible. We have the power cord for the charger. And finally, the charger itself. You can see that it does look quite premium. But again, I have my own, so I won't be using this one. And inside of the box, we have also some propellers here. And here we can see they look quite sturdy. Now, it doesn't come with spare ones, so if you guys want to have extras, you have to order them from the website. And finally, we have some screws here to, I guess, install the actual landing gears and whatnot. And inside, we have nothing else. Now, let's put this aside and get back here to the quadcopter. Okay, guys, and now that we're back here to the quadcopter, another thing I want to show you is that we got this adapter for the power cord. We also got the manuals, and the manuals are very detailed. They come in English. That's another plus, and it's going to explain to you how to assemble it, how to install the gimbal, and how to install the propellers and all that good stuff. So it is very simple to do so. First of all, we're going to install the propellers, and then we're going to install the landing gear. So let's go ahead and get started here with the propellers. Now, when it comes to the propellers, this time we're going to have 2 different models. We have the A45R and the A45. The A45R is the one that goes on the back where it shows the clockwise rotation. The A45 goes on the front on the right side where it shows the counterclockwise rotation. So let's go ahead and install this one first. You have to make sure that it goes all the way in. In this case, I'm going to be using the tools to tighten it up from the Cheerson CX20. Now look in the quadcopter from the left side, the 8045R is going to go on the front here, and the 8045 goes on the back. Alrighty, and now that we have all the propellers installed, the next thing we're going to do is install the actual stand. So for that, we're going to flip it around. To get the screws tightened up, you had to use a Phillips screwdriver. In this case, I'm using the one for the Cheerson CX20, which is working well. Now that we have installed the propellers and the actual landing gears of this quadcopter, that's going to pretty much complete the assembly of it. Also, we can notice that on the front of it, we had the USB port. Now the battery is going to be inside of the quadcopter, and it comes in this tray. This is going to be a 2200 milliamp battery, 11.1 volt. Now, in case you guys want to upgrade the battery, you can just remove this tray so that way you get more space, and this is going to last you about 10 minutes. And now here to compare, on the right side, we're going to have the Cheerson CX20. On the left side is going to be the Flite 3D X8. Now what I like about this model is that it is a little bit taller, giving you guys more room to install a gimbal on the bottom. On the other hand, the Cheerson CX20, it is not, but the body's a little bit more bulkier. So now let's get back here to the Flite 3D X8 and talk about the remote control. And now getting back here to the remote controller, the first thing we have to do is install 4 AA batteries, and after doing so, we can see here we have the power button. We also got the up and down button together with the OK button, and finally the camera button. This is in case you guys want to install a GoPro underneath the quadcopter. You can activate it directly from here. On the top, you have the SWA stick and the SWB, in which we're going to go through that in just a second. We have this knob in order to control a gimbal. We have the throttle, and then finally we have the hovering stick to go forward, backwards, and from side to side. And these are going to be balancers. This is in case that your quadcopter, let's say, is dragging forward, then you would press this down until it is nice and leveled. And the same thing for any position that your quadcopter is dragging to, you can control it right here. Also, when we power on, we're going to see several options, and to select them, we have to go down. The most important one, I would say that before you take off, you have to have at least 8 satellites available in order to take off. That way, if you guys have any issues with the quadcopter, you can just choose here option number 3, which is the return to home feature, and you're going to ensure that it comes back to where it took off. Now, to calibrate the compass, it is very easy. First of all, we have to connect the battery. And now before connecting the battery on the quadcopter, you have to make sure that this is turned on. I forgot to mention that. And after you have connected the quadcopter, you're going to see a blinking light. That's a good sign that you have power on your quadcopter. The next thing you have to do is get here the SWA stick, and you have to flick it up and down a few times until you see a green light blinking. That means that it's on compass calibration mode. So let's go ahead and do it now. And there we see that we have it on compass calibration mode, and what you do is you grab it underneath counterclockwise. You have to spin it several times until you see a blinking green light, and then all you have to do is put it here vertically like this, and then you have to do the same thing, spin counterclockwise a few times until you see a blue LED light. That means that your quadcopter has calibrated the compass. And then finally, to connect to it, all you have to do is power off your quadcopter, and then you're going to turn off your transmitter. And then we're going to start everything again. You have to connect the battery on the quadcopter, but before we do so, we have to turn on the transmitter here. Let's go ahead and power on. There we go. And now we're going to connect the quadcopter itself. And after you have turned on the transmitter and connected the battery underneath the quadcopter to pair to it, it is very simple. All you have to do is move the throttle stick and the hovering stick, both of them towards the corner like this. So once the motors are spinning, don't get scared. That means that they are unlocked. Now, when they would go back on a stop position like we see now, that means that your remote controller is stopped right now, and you can move the throttle stick, and you guys are going to see that it is not moving, and that's because the motors have been locked. To unlock them, once again, you have to move them both like this, and then from here, you got to take off. All right? Okay, and now that we know how to pair with the device and also how to calibrate the compass, the next thing we're going to talk about is the SWA switch and the SWB switch. The SWA is the one on the left, and the SWB is the one on the right. Now with the SWA, the position number 1 is going to be for state mode, the position number 2 is going to be for altitude mode, and finally position number 3 is for GPS hold mode. Now that's recommended for new users. The SWB function, on the other hand, the first option is going to be for normal flying mode. That's recommended for experienced users. Then the option number 2 is for headless option. That means that forward is going to be forward, backwards always going to be backwards, and the same from left to right. And finally, we have option number 3, which is the automatic return. Now that means that in case you guys lose track of your device or you don't know how to land it, then you would just flick it all the way to the bottom on this side, and it's going to return home. Now for that, you guys have to make sure that you have at least 8 satellites on the quadcopter, otherwise it may not return to its original position. And with that being said, guys, the next thing we're going to do is go to the park. We're going to test this baby and see how it performs. Alrighty guys, and here we are at the park, and right now it is very windy here in Florida. Even though it is a very nice day, I'm not sure how this is going to perform because right now the wind is about 9 to 10 miles per hour. But here we have the remote controller. Everything is already set up and ready to go. I have installed here underneath the SJ5000 camera, so that way we can record and see the actual quality of the stabilization of this quadcopter. Okay YouTube, and unfortunately on this video test of the Flying 3D X8, as you guys can see, it doesn't have the landing gears, and that's because I already had a crash and I broke both of the landing gears. But that's not going to stop my ENJ from completing the test of this quadcopter. We're going to take off without the landing gears. Alrighty guys, and there we have it for the test of this Flying 3D X8, and as you guys can see, I was very unfortunate. Today I crashed it. I really don't understand what I did wrong. I tested this about 10 times before actually making the review video. And maybe what I did wrong is that after I took off, I immediately put it on GPS mode, and I think that caused some sort of interference or maybe a confusion on the actual quadcopter. And then all of a sudden everything just shut down, and it was about 20 feet high, and as you guys saw from that crash, the landing gears broke in multiple pieces. They actually are shattered, so I cannot repair them. The great news is that I got new ones from Amazon.com. They're coming very soon, within a week, and of course that would not be the last video of this quadcopter. As a matter of fact, I plan to put the SJ Cam M10, which I got from iBaby, underneath just to test the actual stabilization of this quadcopter. And before I actually crashed it, I had tested this before, like I said, about 10 times, and everything was successful. The stabilization is much better than the GSM CX20. So I am very happy with this quadcopter, and as we can tell here from around the device, it did not suffer major damages. Everything's still working perfectly well. As a matter of fact, I even flew it after the landing gears broke and everything was okay, and we can see that even from the bottom everything is working perfectly well. We just need the actual landing gears, and after I get them, I'll keep you guys updated. So other than that guys, that's going to conclude this video. Again, I do apologize for not keeping it flying for a little bit longer. If you guys do have any questions, please don't forget to comment down below. Please like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.